Alrighty folks, welcome back to the new Minecraft Snapshot 20W9. If you missed the video I posted yesterday on this, I'll leave a link to the description. You can check it out. Order doesn't really matter before or after this. In this video, we'll check out the other big new addition to this snapshot for 1.16, which is the target block. But I'll get to it in just a second. You know, I gotta tease it, then talk about a couple other things, leave you hanging, and we'll get right back to it in just a minute. Let's start off with a couple new changes to the nether flora. So I'm totally gonna butcher the terminology here, but now the fungus and the nylium, did I get that right? Have to correspond to each other to be able to grow one of the funguses into a big tree. And it's actually called fungus instead of fungi. Now, very minor terminology change, but it is what it is. So grab some bone meal out of here. So you'll notice, no can do. No can do doesn't work. Also, no can do doesn't work. Go over here though. Oh, there you go, one click. Brilliant. And yes, you can grow these in the overworld. Maybe you didn't realize that if you bone meal one of the fungus, it actually does grow into a tree. I don't think I've demonstrated that on video before. So there you go. You can grow these at your home in the overworld if you're feeling like some cherry and blue raspberry, because that's all I can ever think about when I see this stuff. I love cherry and blue raspberry candies. And I love that there's that variety. The nether is just candy. Brought to you by a major candy company. Also, you can now use the flower pots to house the roots and the fungus and the fungus and the roots. So if you want some interesting, spooky, candy-themed decorations around your house, you now have these options. But just, you know, keep in mind that the fungus and the nylium, where did they get? Is nylium an actual word? Maybe it is related to mushrooms or something. They have to match. Just line up the colors, okay? It's pretty simple and straightforward. Next up, over here we got a couple command blocks. They're set to spawn the piglins. So I'm gonna spawn a piglin here. And you'll notice that it's doing the shaking, quaking thing. It's like, you know, when you got a villager being cured from being a zombie, and it's going to eventually, in just a moment, in just a second, turn into a zombified piglin, which is actually what it turns into now that the zombified piglins have been implemented. It doesn't turn into a pigman anymore because RIP, they're gone. In case you missed yesterday's video, pigmen are no more. However, over here I'm gonna spawn one, and it's not shaking. What's going on here? How is this taking place? So what kind of special piglin is this? It's totally immune to the effects of the overworld. So there's a new tag that you can like NBT summon. This is good for adventure maps or something where you want to base them in the overworld, but you also want to have piglins present. So you can do summon Minecraft piglin, and then this NBT data is immune to zombification 1, means that it actually won't turn into a piglin here in the overworld. So for those of you who are interested in doing maps and stuff like that that might incorporate these in the overworld, they've thought about you, Mojang, and you can do that. So there you go. And right now he'd be trying to run away, because he'd be really scared of the other one over here. I'll let you get away. Run, run. I know, it's terrifying. It's the zombie version of your kind. I'd run away from a zombie too. In fact, I do all the time in Minecraft. Another thing, so you have the weeping vines. These are only of the crimson variety in the crimson forest. Blue raspberry doesn't exist yet. Maybe it will, but I'm not really sure. I don't know. Anyway, you can climb these. Pretty cool, because normally with vines, you have to have some supporting thing. Like I can't climb, can't really. Yeah, actually, wait, you can. Okay, I thought you had to have some supporting thing, but no, never mind. I'm totally mistaken. It's totally chill, though. But you can climb these, so it's cool. There's also a little thing. I don't know what goes on here, but so what happens is it's probably a bug. We are in a snapshot, but just interesting thing that you can do here if we just make another one. So it has to be placed on the underside of a block, as opposed to a vine, which can be on the outside of a block. Has to be on the underside. You keep placing them, you know, on each other. But then if you do this, and you click it again, you have to do it in order up. Otherwise, it'll just break the whole thing. But it's weird. That's just a thing. I don't really, the importance of calling it out, not really there. But yeah, it is what it is. So just thought I'd, you know, shout it out, and then we can destroy that. All right, moving on to the headliner for this video, okay? We've got ourselves the target block, as mentioned earlier. So this is the target block. The way that you make it is, it's like a compass, but instead of redstone in the middle, it's redstone on the outside, and you swap the redstone in the middle for a hay bale. You know, that was definitely the best explanation that I could possibly give for this situation here. Boom, you get yourself a target. And this is what it sounds like to put it down. It's kind of like a hay bale. I don't know if they'll change the sound in the future, but that's what it be. And the way that this thing works is you can really fine-tune your aim here. So any projectile is valid, but for now, we'll just focus on bow and arrow. And the signal that it sends out corresponds to where on the block it's been shot. So if I shoot way to the outside there, it's not going to emit a big signal at all. As I get closer to the center, all of a sudden you'll see that it starts traveling a lot further. And eventually, if you get a bullseye, it'll go all the way out to 15 blocks. It's harder with a bow because the arrows obstruct your vision a bit, and you also have to charge it up in order to shoot it. There we go. We got a bullseye there. You would get an achievement the first time this happened, but I've done it previously, so I'm not getting that. But you get bullseye. Woohoo! You did it. Congratulations. It's also very interesting to see, though, if we switch over to a snowball, watch the lights. If it goes all the way to the end, again, which is 15, it means we got a bullseye. But we'll keep our aim completely steady. And you can actually get fluctuations in where it registers. You can sometimes get it, yep, see it 14. I haven't moved it all, 14, 15. Without moving, it actually confirms something that I'm sure I could have looked up previously, but even if you're aiming in the exact same place, there is fluctuation in the trajectory of, at the very least, a snowball. Arrow could be exactly the same. So sometimes it'll give 14, sometimes it'll give 15. Even if you're lined up properly. So sometimes it's not you. It's actually the game. You can also use eggs, because, you know, why wouldn't you want to spawn some chickens on top of your target block? And tridents, perhaps my favorite, because it's very clear like where it actually is hit. If you get the center of the trident to be inside of the bullseye, fully squared up, then it means you've hit a bullseye. So that's what I like about the trident. Like you can see right there, it's perfectly in the bullseye, and that seems to always register with the full power. So it's kind of cool. The only thing that I wish that could be done with it, and maybe they could implement before it comes out in the full version, it'd be really cool if you could like multi-block structure it. Kind of like this. If you did that, if you do a square structure, like it would automatically go into a bigger one, because right now, that, if it's far away, is a very small place to hit in order to get full signal. But maybe like you could do this, and then it would auto go to a 3x3. And on the other hand, if you wanted to keep them all independent, you could do what you can do with chess, where you just like shift and click, and then it would keep them separate. I think that would be a cool feature. And then maybe the power will output from the first corner that you put down or something. Another thing that I wanted to call out with them is that you'll notice, even though I had all the lights light up here, this repeater never tripped off. So even if you get this thing to emit power into the block here, it won't actually transfer power out to a following repeater. If you want it to carry power out into another circuit when you hit bullseye in order to trip something off, then you have to put a repeater on the 15th slot. And now, if I can go ahead and replicate that, I've set that up to an RS Snorlax, or an RS Snorlax. So if I get a bullseye, it'll actually permanently illuminate everything. See? So now I got a bullseye. It permanently tripped this off. And then if I inputted another signal to it, I'd be able to shut it off. But I just wanted to give an indication like, hey, you got a bullseye. The lights stay illuminated. And then you could have an output over here that goes to a door, and your door opens, and it allows you to progress further in the map. So I think it's a pretty cool feature for, setting up games, being able to access secret places if you're good at aiming, or adventure maps, things like that, is pretty nifty. So anyway, that's it for this new snapshot. Again, if you missed the first video on it, feel free to check the description. You can catch that now. But we got the target block. We got climbing up the vines. We've got piglins who won't zombify in the overworld and can just wander around Now that they're terrified after seeing the zombie piglin over here, and a few changes with the blue raspberry and the cherry. I don't even... Where did the piglin get to? Where did he get off to? Guess he wasn't named. He might have just despawned, but you haven't. You're trusty. You're going to be by my side forever. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure to like if you liked. Check the playlist if you want to catch more of these things. Subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for more in the future. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you next time.